guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves and Showcase Sunday for the weekend of August 20th. I have not done a post for a few weeks because I was on vacation, then I was catching up from being on vacation last Friday, so yeah. I'm just going to go through stuff. I have quite a bit to go through. It's not awful, but there's a bit there. So first, books for review. There are a lot of books coming out in September. I would say like February and September are the biggest months for series that I read coming out with books. So I have a lot of books for review that are coming out in September. The first one is Magic Binds by Ilona Andrews. This is the next book in the Kate Daniels series. There have been quite a few books in this series, and I really love them all, and I'm kind of blanking on what number this is. But this is an urban fantasy series that I would highly recommend. It's a really neat world. It's got lots of action and some great characters in it. So, yeah, I'm excited to get that to review. The next one I got for review is a book called Glitter by April Lynn Pike. April Lynn Pike is probably best known for her Wings young adult series, which was kind of an urban fantasy series featuring fairies, young adult thing. This one, the description just really caught my attention. It's about some people who live in, it's set in modern day, but all these people live in, I think it's Versailles or something. They live in a palace, and they all live like it's, older time, like Victorian times or whatever. And so they're kind of separated from the rest of the world and isolated. Sound like an interesting concept, and the cover's pretty cool too. So I'm excited to read that and just see how it is. April Lynn Pike, I like her writing. I don't love it, but I've liked some of the stuff I've read from her before. So I'm interested to read that. The next one I was super excited to get, and that's Like a River Glorious by Rae Carson. This is the second book in the Gold Seer trilogy. I absolutely love the first book of the series. It's about a girl who lives like in frontier times in America who can find gold, and she's really sought after because it's during the gold rush times or whatever, and so she's trying to just keep that secret and live her life. But recently she's had to move from kind of the middle of the country over towards California, and so the first book was kind of about their adventures and journey through the United States during frontier time, and some parts were really interesting, like they go through Yellowstone and just like what these settlers thought about Yellowstone as they go through it was really fascinating. I'm very curious to see what Like a River Glorious is like. Rae Carson also wrote, what was the first one called? She also wrote another young adult like fantasy trilogy that I really liked. So this has been really, really good series. I'm excited to read. The last one I got, second to last one I got for review is The Peculiar Night of the Blue Heart by Lauren DiStefano. I read Lauren DiStefano's first young adult series and really liked it, and I'm blanking on the name of it. This is actually a middle grade series about some, middle grade age kids that go on some adventure. It looks like it's got that real, like, middle grade, like, mysterious, kind of creepy vibe to it, kind of quirky vibe to it. So I'm excited to read it. It has a very pretty cover on it, and that'll be fun. Oh, I should say when all these come out, which I don't think I actually will. I know this one comes out in September. I believe this one also comes out in September, and this comes out, I think, in October, but I'm not completely sure. This also comes out in September. So, the other one I got for reviews through the Amazon Vine program. All of those ones were through Edelweiss and NetGalley. And this is Sea Change by Frank Viva by Toon Books. It kind of looks like a graphic novel, but it's not exactly a graphic novel. More it's a story, but they do some interesting things with the text. So you can see there the text is going up a fish line. I was going to see if there's... Here he's talking about walking up the steps, and the text is in step. I read this last night. It's really kind of a coming of age story about, I believe he's 12 years old, the 12-year-old boy who goes, and his parents make him spend the summer on this like point in Nova Scotia in Canada that's pretty isolated. And it's kind of a coming of age story about, what he does there and like what's important and kind of growing up. He really didn't want to go, and once he gets there, he finds out that, maybe things are a little bit different than he thought. So this was good. I liked it. I liked how the text is artfully, done throughout the book. It is kind of almost more like a picture book though, but it's a little bit more advanced reading though, so it's not really for kids. I would say it's for middle grade readers and older. but not exactly a graphic novel either. So it's one of those kind of weird in-between ones. I did buy one book in the last 3 weeks, and that is The Fourth Pandora Hearts by Jun Mochizuki. I think last time I did a video, I had the 5th one. I kind of bought the 3rd, 4th, 5th all at once, but they come media mail, so this one just took a lot longer to get here. So yeah, I'm excited to read that. I have read up through the 3rd book in the Pandora Hearts series, and I'm really enjoying it, so I was waiting for this one to show up, and it did. And then the last book I got, I actually have another book waiting for me at the library, but I'll probably show it next week. Next book I got from the library, and that's Menagerie by Rachel Vincent. I have read some of Rachel Vincent's urban fantasy series. I believe she writes, I'm like blanking, the wolf one, The Shifters, Stray, Rogue. I wasn't actually a huge fan of that series, so I didn't read very much of it. But the premise of the series sounds really cool. It's all set in like a menagerie, like a circus, and there's some magical stuff that goes on. So anyways, I think that'll be an interesting read, and for some reason I'm just really excited to read it. I don't know why. So that's what I got. I got 1, 2, 3, and then all the books, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 books in the last 3 weeks. Not a ton. I've been really busy. I haven't really been seeking books out. So yeah, just trying to get caught up. We did go to Gen Con at some point. I'll try to put pictures up. Again, I ended up not taking any video. We are so busy while we're there. We're like trying to get to events. We did some Pathfinder events. We demoed some new games. One called You Gotta Be Kidding Me, and the other one called Tempura, like purra, like a cat purse. And so those were really fun. We ended up buying them. My son loves cats, and they were like nice quick card games that we can bring camping with us. We did some other like bigger board games. So Bloodborne, the board game, we played that. That one was really good. We got a board game called Mysterium, which was a little different, a little bit hard to figure out how to get started on it, but it ended up being fun as well. I'm trying to think what other ones we got. Anyways, we ended up getting some new games, playing some Pathfinder, meeting our friends for dinner, and they had like, Pokemon Go was really big, so they had like Poke parties at night where they put lure modules all downtown, and people did the whole Pokemon thing, and it's just so busy. We're just ready from like event to event and trying to meet people and trying to like take everything in. Oh, we did build a mini siege catapult event, that was interesting. It didn't take as long as they said it was going to. And then we did Crochet Your Cat a Mousy toy, which my son wanted to do, which was honestly kind of a disaster because the lady like had the wrong room and didn't show up, and a whole bunch of stuff went wrong with that. But we ended up having okay time anyways, because we pretty much have an okay time wherever. So it's just very busy. And I'll try to put some pictures. We got some good pictures of like some of the cool costumes and everything. It was kind of a crazy trip though, because we went down and we decided to leave a day early because it's a long drive from here down to Indianapolis. So we spent the night in Wisconsin Dells and went to the water park. Then we went down to Indianapolis for 5 days. And then on the way back, my sister lives in Chicago. So we stopped in Chicago for a day. And we were in 3 different hotels in like 5 days or something like that. And it got to the point where I was like confused, like, oh, what room number are we in? And where is the room? Are we on the 3rd floor or the 9th floor, you know? But yeah, we had a good time. And I will try to post some pictures at some point, because we did get some fun pictures of some of the costumes. And we always do Card Holla, which everybody builds these giant card houses, and then people throw money at to knock it down at the end of the con, and you know all the money goes to charity. So you know, fun stuff like that. So that's what we did. We were back home finally last weekend, kind of recovering. My work has been really, really busy lately, so I kind of had to like come back from vacation and just go right into all this work stuff. And we did finally get our treehouse that had been smashed down by a tree branch fixed last weekend. We're finally getting to the point where most of the trees are cleaned up around the lot. We did have one dead one fall down last night because we had another storm go through. We've been trying to decide like why all these trees are going down around our house, and I think part of it is it's a lot of new construction went in here, and so like the way the wind comes through the trees, it's hitting trees differently than it used to. So like trees that were protected by other trees aren't now, and so hopefully next year it won't be as bad. It hasn't been like particularly overly stormy here. It's just very windy, so I don't know. And you guys don't want to hear about all this probably. You want to hear about books, but I'm just blabbing on. All right. We're probably going to try to go to the Renaissance Festival this weekend. We'll see how everyone's feeling on Sunday. We got stuff going on Saturday. Oh, and my son graduated. He got his black stripe. So that's a big deal because the next thing for his karate is the black belt. So it was a big deal. We spent half a day Saturday. He had to go through his whole graduation and get tested on everything. And he passed, which was a relief for everybody. I think we were all very like, oh, finally. Because it was a lot of work leading up to it. And just the whole time. I mean, he's been doing this for 5 or 6 years now, and he's only 9, so, you know, it's been a long haul for him, and he's very excited to only have, you know, a year and a half until he's going to be testing for his black belt, probably. So, yeah, so all that. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you got a lot of great books, and that you had a great week of reading, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.